What's up, people of the world? It's your girl, Lala.
And your boy Siobhan.
And you are listening to
Talk That Shit.
With the Melvins.
Hey, what's up? Here you go again. How you guys doing out there?
What up?
How you been?
Great.
It's been crazy, right?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's been crazy. It's just been a little annoying being in this darn house.
I mean, our last two podcasts were pretty crazy.
Yeah, we did live podcasts, meaning we went live on Facebook, and we shot two podcasts with our friends and family and, you know, other people and whatnot, some listeners on Facebook. And as we discussed those topics, we, you know, let the people chime in and say how they felt about certain things. So that was fun.
It was super fun.
It was a lot of fun.
I had a good time. You know what I mean? But we're back with the tapings of just me and you.
We're back with the real deal, Holyfield. Just us.
Bars?
No, it's not bars. Not this time.
Not this time. There wasn't no bars?
No.
So
I think we should just jump right into the topic today
what do
because
you?
it might get a little deep.
Oh, so we're back to deep.
Yeah.
Deep water.
It's not even so much that it's deep. It's just that it's real life stuff. And so that's what makes it deep, because I feel like the whole purpose of our podcast is to be relatable. You know what I mean? Like,
very relatable. So
majority of our topics, or if not all of our topics, are things that we've been through. Or that we've experienced in other couples or just other relationships have experienced as well. And so I think that's what makes us so relatable. And so it's easier for people to say, damn, like, I feel this, because, you know, everybody goes through something. And so if they're able to relate, then great. And if they're not, then it gives them another perspective on what could happen in the future, or what's happening right now in their relationship. You know, sometimes people don't see a lot of stuff while they're in the relationship. And then once they get out, if they get out, then they're like, dang, like, that was deep. Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh shoot, that's what they was talking about last time.
Right. So it's like, it's real life stuff. And we had a what if scenario before, and it sparked conversation in people's homes. I thought it was pretty dope.
Yes.
The give it up or die.
Man, controversial.
Controversial.
I'm making up words. You see my face? Controversial.
So if you haven't listened to that podcast, I think that was what, number 2?
Number 2.
Episode 2?
Yes. And we'll leave the link for that in the bottom of the show notes for this one.
Facts.
And make sure that
Oh yeah, because this is going on YouTube too, so it'll be in the description box as well.
And you want smash that like button
and the subscribe button
so you can see more of us. I feel like we're getting sad already.
Don't say more of us.
There's more of us.
More of us.
And definitely head over to your page, because I just did a masterpiece on your face last week, and it was just
my personal YouTube page at Lala Melvin on YouTube.
I'm a genius.
We have a few videos on there that we did together.
And yes, and we got more coming, right?
We do.
We got a lot more coming. So
all right, let's get into this. So I received everything. Okay, let me just put this out there for everybody to understand as well. When we receive topic requests or a friend or whatever the case may be asks us to talk about something, I leave everyone's name out. I will switch words around to make sure that I am not putting anyone's business out in the streets, because I don't rock like that. So
I wanna rock with you.
Yeah.
All night.
So I did receive a topic request.
Okay.
It was more put into question form, so I'll just read what I got. And again, I'm gonna switch things around, so nobody's business is put out into the street, because that ain't it. That's not the move. All right, so here we go. If you're
Really?
If your spouse calls you out your name and y'all not speaking for a few days, then you bring it to that person's attention and they ask you, how do you feel about it? Then they ask if they should apologize. Okay, so let me explain, right? So let's say you call me out my name and
So I
we
call you,
don't.
like light skin or something.
Come on.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You call me because you gonna make me like my train of thought is just gonna go. Pew.
Okay, good.
You call me out my name,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't speak for a few days. But when I bring it to your attention, because for those few days it's been bothering me,
Yeah.
you ask me how I feel about it. But then you also ask me, do I think that you should apologize? Okay, so that's that.
Okay. Should we talk on that one first? Or you just want to keep going? Keep going.
So then it goes on to say that this person felt weird that other person would call them out of their name.
Mm-hmm.
That was number one. Then number two, ask me how I feel about it. I guess in the sense like they don't already know how I would feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then three, ask if they should apologize. Almost in the sense of like, I don't think I was wrong. Do you think I should apologize? Type shit. And then they get mad and decide that they're not gonna wear their wedding ring. I think it's childish and disrespectful on their part.
So we're going with the first one.
So let's go with the first part.
First part is if I call you out your name, you just dropped your phone. I'm gonna cut that out.
Good thing I have long legs, huh?
Right.
Anyway, okay. So if your spouse calls you out of your name and y'all stop speaking,
Well, how I feel about that is the calling out of the name situation is always based on what you allow. You know what I mean? Because certain men,
what if it's a first time offense?
you know what I mean? If you don't allow it, it's a problem. I mean, it's a problem already. You know what I mean? Because I don't know if it's a spirit of the moment thing or they're just mad or they just feel that way at the time.
I'm going to stop you because first of all, and you know how I feel about when people say, oh, it was in the heat of the moment. Oh, I was so mad. Nah, bro, that don't fly. You don't say stuff when you're mad that you don't feel when you're not mad.
I'm giving you
but
universal.
But what you just said didn't make sense. So that's why I had to throw that out there. So go ahead.
It didn't make sense to you because
No, it's not going to make sense to them either.
Yes. Okay.
So already starting the video. If it made sense, leave it in the comments. If it didn't, let me know that too.
Yes, please. Because certain people, when they get to a certain point and they're mad, they say things because they're saying things just to hurt the other person's feelings. You know what I mean? So if I feel as though me calling you by the name, if I feel as though me calling you out of your name is going to make you mad, you made me mad. So guess what? I'm going to try to piss you off. I'm not saying it's the right thing. I'm not, because that person may not feel as though that's how they actually feel about the person. So if I call you a B or I call you a mother effer and everything, I'm just saying that to get under your skin because you didn't already piss me off. So I don't believe in that. You know what I mean? Like I believe that there is times where you get mad, but there are, like me, I'm a hothead. I have a really bad temper. You know what I mean? And back in the day, I used to throw shit, you know what I mean? Throw stuff and just be angry for no reason because I didn't like the way the situation was going. But as I grown up,
But did you call me out my name? Or any female for that matter?
No, I never called a female on it.
No, but he definitely wanted to call me out my name one time. He was sitting on the stairs so mad. And I was like, say it. I know you want to.
Say it. I was like, you go upstairs. But I'm just saying though, like I was pissed off, but it didn't fly out my mouth. You know what I mean? It was like, mother B, you know what I mean? It was just like, I'm just saying though, like, cause cause most people, it flies out their mouth as if it's part of their everyday language. You know what I mean? So if I had to think about it, like, do I want to call her? I really don't feel this way, but you pissing me off. You know what I mean? Yes, I've gotten to that, but I know that that's not how I initially feel. So some people don't really feel that way. They just really angry and they have a bad temper.
Okay, but see now, when people say stuff like that, now you've given these people an excuse to say shit that they don't mean.
I get you. I get you.
No, you don't get me, because you gave them the excuse by even saying that.
No, I'm just.
I know what you're saying.
Yes.
But here's what I'm saying. You don't say, I don't care who you are.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what kind of temper you have, what kind of temper you don't have, what you've been through, what you haven't been through, the shit that you've seen and haven't seen. You do not say things that you do not mean. At some point, you have felt that way, which is why that's the first thing that came to your mind. If you never felt that way about that person,
you're not going to say that.
You would never say those things just because you're mad and I want to. Here's my thing, right? Mm-hmm. If you piss me off to the point where I feel like I want to say something to you, I'm going to say shit that I know is true, that I've felt about you, and I know it's going to hurt your feelings.
Like,
I'm not going to say sideways shit just to make you mad, because that's not going to work. You could say something to me, right? Let's say right now you called me a bitch. I'm going to be like, okay. If that shit don't work, you might find something else that you know is going to piss me off, or that you have thought about saying before, or something that you know I've told you in the past pisses me off. That's what you're going to bring up. That would make more sense than saying shit you don't mean.
Yeah, but it's just like that word is just a universal version of disrespect to a woman is what we're taught being brought up. You never call a woman a female dog.
You do call them. If she acting like it, then that's what it is.
I get you, but like nobody wants their daughter being called one of that. No matter if they're being one or they're not being one. That's just always taught as being the universal word.
So you're saying guys in particular use the bitch word because they know that it's something that's going to offend I just smacked my leg. Offend a woman just because of majority of people's upbringing.
Yeah, because they're gonna be like, I'm not no B, you know what I mean? Like whatever, girl. But what's crazy to me is the fact that this culture now is using the word as something good. You know what I mean?
Because when you really think about it, right? And I say this all the time. How are you, when people say things or do things that you know aren't true, or that you know you never did?
Why get mad?
Why are you mad? And I think a lot of people have now adapted that mindset, like, okay, bitch, and?
Yes.
So what? Like, you're mad because I live a certain way, or you're mad because my attitude's a certain way, or you're mad because I carry myself a certain way, and I'm supposed to care what you think for what? Why? So you calling me a bitch don't faze me. You calling me a hoe don't faze me, because guess what? I know how many people I've had in my bed. Yeah. You don't. You gonna feel how you feel.
But men think that that's the universal way of getting under a woman's skin.
And that's fine. But my thing is this: what she's asking is, if your significant other calls you out your name, and y'all stop speaking, and you bring it to their attention, and the first thing they say to you is, well, how do you feel about it? Well, if we ain't talked in 3 days, like, what you think I feel, bro?
Yeah, I mean, so that goes to the second part of the question.
Right.
Second part of the question is,
why are you asking me how I feel? You know how I feel because we haven't talked in 3 days.
I think that was a version of wanting to know what they did wrong.
You know what you did wrong.
I understand that, but it's showing. It's pretty much me asking you, where did I go wrong? Was I wrong because I called you a B, or was I wrong because of what I said in the argument?
I mean, okay, let me just put this out there too. I don't know exactly what the word or words were that were used when this person was called out of their name, so it's kind of hard to like.
No, I get you.
You know what I mean?
We're gonna.
So we're just gonna assume the worst because.
Yes, B.
I mean, if you stopped speaking, then. Yeah. Clearly, it was something to the extent of hurting your feelings.
Yes, so it had to be something. So to me, that seems like it's like I know we had an argument. I know that I called her out of her name, or he, you know what I mean, or vice versa, whatever. But Are you more mad at the fact that we had the argument about what we was having it about, or are you more mad at the fact that I called you out your name?
Well, the question is that he or she called whoever out of their name.
I know.
It's not
but
the
I'm,
fact that
but
I mean, I don't think anybody is mad at the fact that we had an argument. I think it's more of the fact that what happens within that argument.
I know, but I'm not speaking on that person's perception of why they think that. I'm speaking on the perception of the person saying that was a couple days ago. I want to know what they're actually mad about. Are they mad that I called them out their name? I'm reversing the word.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but here's my thing. You know what you did and didn't do. So if we get into an argument, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say what's my biggest pet peeve? Oh, okay.
How many?
So he eats pretzels, right? Like it's this East Coast thing. He eats pretzels with spicy mustard.
Spicy mustard, son.
But he has a really bad habit of leaving mustard on the plate.
Yes.
And he doesn't wash it off. And so it's a little bit more difficult to get off the plate when I'm getting ready to wash dishes.
Uh-huh.
And so it's like, that that's a pet peeve. So if we get into an argument about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And 9 times out of 10, I feel like arguments start at one thing and then they,
escalate to something else,
to
like
other things.
Last week you ain't put the trash out, motherfucker.
Right. Or then it jumps to past situations, and that's just, I feel like, I just think that that's how it's unfortunate that that's how they work, but I think that that's for the majority how arguments work.
Mm-hmm.
And within that argument, I say like, all right, man, I'm done. Because, that's just something that I would say. And you like, all right, okay, okay, fuck you, and you acting like a real bitch. And then I'm like, yo, I mean, to me, it wouldn't affect me.
Well,
but if that were something that agitated me.
You're Pinocchio in it right now.
How?
Because you wouldn't say I'm done. You would just stop talking.
No, I mean, I've said to you before, all right, stop talking to me.
Okay, cool.
I've said that to you. Okay. Stop talking to me.
Okay, cool.
And you're like, why? So
why?
If I was like, stop talking to me, bro, like, you're going to be like,
why?
You get on my effing nerves, and why? And then you let's just say you called me a bitch, right?
B. We trying to not.
Melvin, no. Okay.
Go ahead.
Not on here. I don't have time for all that. Maybe on those other videos, but
okay.
Not this. You call me a bitch, and I'm just like, to me, it's not going to faze me, but if it did faze me, and I was just like, wow, like, did you really, you of all people, did you really just call me that?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Bet. All right. I'm cool off of you for like the next few days. We ain't got to speak to each other. But you don't even address the situation knowing you called me out of my name. I didn't say anything to you that would make you feel less than a man or anything that would, I wasn't hurting your feelings. I'm just explaining to you this, that, and the other. And then you call me that. And I'm going to feel a type of way about it. I would expect you, especially as my husband, I would expect you to come have a conversation with me and apologize straight up.
But true indeed. That's why I said that even though I called you out your name or did whatever, are you mad at the fact that I called you out your name, or are you mad at the fact that what we were arguing about?
It's not about what we're arguing about anymore. We've had the argument.
Mm-hmm.
The argument ended with you calling me a bitch. I'm mad at you calling me a bitch. I'm no longer mad about mustard on a plate anymore.
Okay.
That went out the window. Like, it's gone.
I mean, I'm saying me. I would have never. First of all, I know why you're mad at me, and I'm gonna try to fix it.
But you were definitely the type of person that'd be like, I don't know what I did, and I'd be like, what you mean?
Yes, but I wouldn't linger it on for 2, 3, 4, 5 days.
No, but the fact that you're trying to like excuse unexcusable behavior.
It's not unexcusable. It's not an unexcusable behavior, because there's a difference between me calling you out your name and me and you having a argument about something, and I'm like, well, I don't know what went wrong in that argument.
Yeah, but if you know that you call me out my name and you know that that's a trigger for me, and we don't speak for a few days,
I know what the problem is.
So what she's asking,
Uh-huh,
is that should this person is it okay that they ask me how I
Hell
feel?
fucking no. To me, hell no.
Right.
Because now you're underlining that you're mad at me. Or I'm mad at you're. Is it the other way around? I'm underlining that what I called you.
What you mean?
Me coming to you asking you how do you feel about what I said to you is underlining.
No. What happened was she said they hadn't spoke and she had to go to him to ask him or to speak to him, and when she did, he asked her.
Exactly. So if I'm walking past you for 2 days, that means that I think that I'm right in that situation.
No, it's not even that you think that you're right. It's just that you don't care that you hurt the woman that you claim to love.
Understandable. So that means that I don't care.
I just said that. You just said that you think you're right.
Damn, in my head, I felt like I said everything you just said. so
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I thought I was smart just now. But you coming to me and then being like,
I gotta ask you how you feel. Like, to me, that's just like, I don't give a shit, bro. I don't care.
To me, that seems like that the man think that he won the situation.
He won?
Yes.
It's not about winning.
It's not about winning,
I don't get what you're trying to say.
Because it ended with me disrespecting you, right?
Yes.
It should be me coming to you like, how do you feel? I'm sorry. You know what I mean?
After you've disrespected
After I disrespected
me.
you.
Right.
But you coming to me being like, hey, what's up with that? That's letting me know that you broke first. It's a little kiddie game, but it's like you broke first.
So you're saying he's being petty and almost like, I'm your king because I'm your husband, and a lot of men have this mentality.
Yes.
That your wife is basically your slave and that she should bow down to the things that you say because you're her husband. And let me just say this. You got it all the way fucked up. All the way. Not you.
Oh, I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
I'm talking about those men that have that mindset that their wives are supposed to do what they say when they say how to. Nope.
So what I'm saying is the fact that if I do something wrong, right? I called you out your name. I ain't talked to you for 2 or 3 days, so it's not bothering me that I'm not talking to you. Number one, you know what I mean? And then you come to me and say, what's up? What happened with that? And I'm like, it's pretty much me saying to you, do you understand what you did to make me react the way I reacted?
And I think that that's effed up because it should never get to a point where it's a tit for tat type situation.
It should never. I mean, when you are married or you're with your soulmate or you're with somebody, I don't think it should ever be. You get on my nerves.
I just hate when you get all sappy.
I'm not. I'm
You're
just
with your soulmate.
Why you gotta change your voice? What I'm trying to say is the fact that I don't think you should. It doesn't become tit for tat. You know what I mean? It should become. You guys are one as a team, and if I'm broken down, then that means you're broken down, and if you're broken down, that means I'm broken down.
It's just right and wrong.
You know what I mean?
At the end of the day, that's
yeah.
really
It's
what
like
it boils
it's like
down to.
damn, we had a disagreement, but let's make it right.
Even if it wasn't just a disagreement, if we had a full on argument, and you knew that in that argument you were wrong,
yes,
then it should be a simple apology, and either we move on or we don't. But here's where you draw the line.
Mm-hmm.
It should never happen again.
But this is what I mean.
And if it does, then girl, you need to leave.
But what I'm trying to say is the fact that me asking you, let's go back to the question. Me asking you, how do you feel about what I said to you? Mm-hmm. And you don't address the name calling, then that means you just let me know it's okay to call you out your name. Because you care more about what the argument was about. Is what I was trying to explain. So now, anytime we have a disagreement,
what if that's not what she's asking? I mean, I get what you're saying.
I know, but I'm just saying, I'm just going a little further. If that's what he was trying to, I'm just saying based on what I think. That's what he was trying to reach for. Like, oh, so how do you feel about what happened? And if you say, well, I don't like the way we ended our I don't like the way we ended our argument. Or if you say, I don't like that you call me out my name. Now you're still underlining that you guys had an argument about something and that you care more about you care more about the disrespect that you gave me. So now you already letting him know, like, yo, you disrespect me again, I'm knock you the fuck out.
Okay, but here's I think where she's trying to get at. Why does she have to tell you what you did? Why am I this is, and I don't know, maybe it's just like going over your head or something. But my thing is this. If you call me out my name, if we're having a full-on argument and you call me out my name, and my first initial reaction is like, oh, cool. And we don't speak for 3 days. I mean, I'm just throwing out a number. We don't speak for 3 days. You know that you ended the conversation with calling me out of my name.
Yes, I do.
I shouldn't, this is what she's saying. I shouldn't have to come to you and you shouldn't be asking me, how do I feel? You know how I feel because I ended it with cool. And we didn't speak for 3 days.
Understandable.
But you it's not how do you say understandable?
Because
but then you keep throwing extra shit on that.
No, because I'm talking to you as the man.
But you're not.
How you figure?
You're not. How are you talking to me as the man?
I am because
How?
because to me, even though I disrespected you, I don't care that I disrespected you because number one, I didn't talk to you for 2 days. I don't care. At the end of the day, I don't care that I...
Okay, but if you don't care, you're not even going to ask,
no,
how do you feel?
No.
But that's not the case. He asked her, how do you feel?
After she came and talked to him.
My point. But the point that she's trying to make is she shouldn't have to do that.
Keep talking because I want to know if you're really loud.
We're fine.
Oh, okay. You don't. Go ahead.
She shouldn't have to do that.
She shouldn't, but I'm just saying.
But you can't keep giving that excuse of, oh, I don't care, so I'm gonna ask her how. That don't make sense. Because if you don't care, then you're not gonna say, well, how did you feel, bro? You're just gonna continue not to speak. There's plenty of times when we've had an argument, right? And you call yourself wanting to talk to me. I'm not the type of person that's going to be like, oh, yeah, let's talk it out.
Yes, because
No, listen.
Go ahead.
I'm going to be like, the fuck are you talking to me for? Like, your apology don't mean shit. And it's not that it was an apology because you were disrespectful. But it's more of like the argument wouldn't have never happened had you did what I asked you to do. Yes. Right. The first time I asked you to do it.
I get
now it's a continuous thing. And now it does become a little bit of a, okay, now you're disrespecting me because it's like now you don't care about anything that I ask you to do. But you want me to do this, that, and the other. And when you ask me, I do it. So don't come fucking talk to me. Don't say you're sorry because at the end of the day, you're not sorry. It's not sorry. It's I'm going to say sorry because I want her to leave me alone. That's what that is. But in this particular case, what I'm saying is that she is saying, why do I have to come to you and ask you to talk about what you did wrong? That's like you cheating you cheat on me. And I got to come to you and say,
why'd you cheat on me?
Why'd you cheat? Or I got to come to you and say, well, what did I do? Why you felt like you needed to cheat? No, fuck that. What did you do? Why did you do it? What was the purpose?
What's the first thing you just said? You just said, you said to me that you did blah, blah, blah. I'm cutting that out. When you walked up to me and said, why did you cheat, right? My first reaction is going to be to come at you on why I did it.
Okay, but that doesn't mean that you don't care.
But that means that with that. So
what that?
Shut up. Let's put it back in this, right? Let's put it back. You come to me and say, what was up with that name calling? And I say to you, how do you feel about that? Now that's me coming at you saying that, hey, the reason I called you out your name is because of how you was coming at me.
No.
What do you mean, no?
Absolutely not. If I come, okay, so let's just put this into a bigger perspective, right? And that does happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I come to you and I say, I don't like the fact that you called me a bitch or whatever the word. I don't know what the word is. And you say, well, or I say, let's talk. And you say, about what? And I say, well, our argument the other night. And you say,
what about it?
What about it?
Mm-hmm.
And I say, you calling me out my name. And you say, well, how do you feel about it? Well, what the fuck do you mean?
I'm pissed off.
I'm pissed. I'm hurt.
Yeah.
I'm angry. I'm upset. I feel betrayed. Like, that's how I feel.
Now, what's my next move? Now I'm trying to justify why I called you that. You was coming at me. You was saying all this other stuff. You was coming at my character, and I got mad and I called you.
But what if you aren't coming at that person's character? What if you aren't calling somebody else? What if I didn't call you out your name? And what if I didn't assassinate your character? And what if I didn't say bad things about you? And you still choose to call me a bitch?
It's still a defense.
But you can't use a defense mechanism where there's no defense. Bro, if I don't do anything wrong, there's no excuse behind it. So again, why am I coming to you when you're the one who's out of line? That should never happen.
You coming at me like
I'm not. I'm just saying because the way you're talking it's like you're defending the male species, and I ain't with none of it.
No. I'm just trying to get into the role because I have to play the devil's advocate on this because I have to be the one that actually said whatever was said. So I'm just going off the role play of that. That's all. So you coming at me, you about to get choked out off camera.
I'm not. It's not that I'm coming at you. It's just, like I said, it just sounds like you're defending the male species in this particular situation, and it's not right because at the end of the day, again, I hit myself. At the end of the day, whether male or female, whoever is in the wrong should always be the one approaching the next person. It should never be a case of I have to come to you and figure out why you did what you did. What, baby? Oh, we got a guest for the rest of the podcast. Oh, well. Go ahead. So that's just, I mean...
So not playing devil's advocate. I think it's wrong. Like I would have never went. First of all, I'm not going a couple hours. I'm checking up on you. I'm asking you if you're hungry. I don't care if you don't want to talk to me for the rest of the night. I'm going to try to talk to you because guess what? We had an argument and I don't want to go to bed. I was always told never go to bed angry. You know what I mean? You and your wildebeest and tearing up stuff. You know what I mean? Like whatever. You can go to bed mad, but me, I don't want to.
What you mean tearing up stuff? I'm so confused. Who does all that?
I'm watching the original, so everything is tearing up werewolves and stuff. That? But no. Like I said, I don't think that it's right to.
What makes it worse is that she says that he proceeds to.
Is that the third part?
Yes, he asked her if she thought that he should apologize. This is what I mean by he didn't care at all.
That's what I'm saying. He's underlining what he said to her because he doesn't think that he was wrong because of how we don't know what the argument was about. We don't know what was said in the argument.
Right.
But by the way of him responding to her, it just means that he don't think that he's wrong in that scenario and that he said the right things, which is why I said he's underlining and trying to find out why the hell is she mad.
Okay, but when you keep saying underlining, I feel like maybe you're not using the right term.
I am. It's negative. Like it doesn't mean anything. Like he's underlining why she's mad. Underlining means that. I underline your ass. I underlined him. Should we? Y'all talk to us y'all talk to us.
Underlining.
Yeah, look it up.
Meaning. present particle of underline.
They got Ebonics.
Be the cause or basis of something. So, like I said, you were using the wrong word.
In the Ebonics, in the ghetto Ebonics, okay. So he was playing it off as if he's not the wrong person. Like he's like, yo, like I didn't do nothing wrong. And that makes me, just because I called you out your name doesn't mean that I'm wrong for calling you what you are, because that's what you were at the moment.
And it's not. This brings me back to what I said about men with that mindset. There are men that think that they can do and say whatever the fuck they want to because you're their wife.
Yes.
And they got it fucked up.
Yeah, I mean,
is ultimately what I'm getting at. At no point, man or woman, husband or wife, should either one of you ever feel comfortable enough to call the next person out of their name. Ever.
I feel it.
Not ever. Because here's the first part. If you have kids and they hear you do that shit, and then your kids grow up, you're gonna wonder why. Well, I don't understand why my son is treating her like that.
But you gotta think that that's always been something, because you gotta think that these young men out here that watch their mom or they watch their dad beat on women and everything, and then when they get older, they beat on women, and it's like, well, who told you that was okay? And then they always blame it on, I used to see my dad beat on women and everything. And it's like, that's what kids and younger people pick up when they're growing up. So if they're in a toxic home and they hear how they mom and dad talk to each other, like, you mother effer, or you a B, and then it's like they get up and they test it. They like, I just called her a B, and guess what? She wasn't mad or whatever.
But it also can go
opposite
either way.
Yeah, like right. I grew up watching my dad beat up on my mom and everything, and I didn't like it, and I refused to hit a woman, and I'm going to step up for
you need to make this clear that this is just an example. This is not your real life, because the way you just said that was like it was.
Oh yeah. No. I'm just talking on. Yeah, no. I'm just talking based on like what what you hear and not what you see, but yeah, what you see, what is portrayed. But yeah, they grow up and they're like, yo, I'm never going to treat a woman like this, or I'm never going to call a woman out their name. And, you know what I mean? I don't like that feeling of just being in that toxic relationship with somebody. And that has to be the only way that it deals, and then somebody gets hurt. And then, like I said, he was testing her.
But what's the test? What's the test?
To see how much power I got in the relationship.
But if it takes you to call a woman out of her name, a woman that you claim that you're in love with, that has your kids or whatever the case may be, my dude, you don't have no power, bro.
I understand that,
you are the real bitch in the relationship. I understand, is how I
but
see
some people just think that those words are so powerful that it's gonna break down a person. You know what I mean?
Like, and it does.
Like, you mother bitch. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, why'd you come in? You know, and then they messed up, and it's like they feel like they just feel like they're just almighty because of that. Like, oh yeah, I called her out her name, and I'm the king of the jungle and everything. It's not. No, I don't. It's you're not the king of the jungle. You a punk. You know what I mean? Like for you to go that route and say that and deal with that. I don't agree. You know what I mean? Like I don't think it's cool. I don't think it should never get to that scenario of where you have to call somebody out their name unless it's another dude, and you like, dude, you pissing me off.
Yeah.
But other than that, I definitely don't think that our special guest is leaving also. But I definitely don't think that it's I can't use the word underlining because I was using it out of context. I was using it wrong. But it's definitely me talking to you as if I wasn't wrong.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, Oh, so you thought I was wrong for that? But do you see? Like I said, we don't know the context of
We
what
don't know the whole
we don't know the
basis
whole
of the
thing. You know what I mean?
conversation.
Like if we had a recording of the conversation, then we can role play it, but we don't. So it's like me from what I got from that is me thinking that I wasn't wrong for calling you that,
Right.
and you let me know why do you think that I'm wrong for doing that? Because guess what? We got into an argument. You said what you had to say, so I said what I had to say, and guess what? I don't
just
feel wrong.
and it's sad because again, then that brings it to a tit for tat type situation. Now everybody's petty in the situation because it's like, well, you made me mad, and let's just say it was like you called me a nigga. Oh my god. So now I'm gonna call you a bitch, or I'm gonna call you a hoe, or I'm gonna call you an African booty scratcher, whatever the
I'm gonna be honest with
situation
you,
may
man.
be.
Men definitely you can turn it off because it's gonna echo. Men definitely get their feelings hurt really fast. And
I know
then,
you guys are a bunch of bitches. I already
and
said
then
that.
who she call?
Like three podcasts ago.
Who she talking to?
You guys are extremely sensitive.
Yeah, we.
You guys are real bitch made type people.
The taking of the ring, that is very petty.
I think that all on its own is disrespectful.
Yeah, because I don't even like taking off my ring, but I have to sometimes because of my gloves and stuff, and me.
Okay, you just went into something no one cares about. We don't care that you don't like.
Oh, now you don't care if I take my ring off and stuff.
I'm not saying that. We just don't care to hear about it right now at this particular moment.
Okay.
Because we're talking
But-
about something.
But definitely, the taking of the ring is it's one of the
I feel
highest.
like it's the ultimate disrespect in a marriage.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, whatever, boom. That's how it's letting you know how you feel about the marriage.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
As
because
I don't have my ring on right now.
you was
It's
cooking,
downstairs.
though.
I know.
Yeah, you was cooking, but you still got that ring mark on it, so it
Okay.
don't matter.
I know.
But yeah, I truly just think that it's just a form of disrespect, and it's like letting you know that I really
Like
don't
he
care.
already disrespected you once by calling you out of your name.
Yes.
Then he goes ahead and disrespects you again by basically telling you, I don't give a fuck how you feel. And I don't think I should apologize. And then goes even a step further and just disrespects the whole marriage as a whole by taking off his ring. Like, you took off your ring for what? What did that prove?
Yeah, because nothing's gonna make me mad to be like, yo. Pretty much is like, yo, I don't want to be with her no more. Boom. Okay, cool. Let me
And
take
to
this
me,
ring.
that's what that is a symbol of. Like, now I'm questioning the marriage. That's why maybe I should have dug a little deeper with this and said, okay, but what did you do, bro? Because it's very deep. Like, he's calling you out your name. He's taking his ring off. He doesn't think he's wrong. And I don't agree with the whole, oh, you did this, so I did this. That's super petty to me. But there definitely was something that happened that I think should have been spoken about as well.
Yeah, that's definitely.
I mean, but we'll never know because it's not our situation.
Yeah, that's true.
So ultimately, overall, the whole situation, it's a fucked up situation.
Yes.
It's fucked up because it's disrespectful on the guy's end, and it's fucked up because we don't know what this woman did.
To piss him off.
I'm not saying to piss him off, but we don't know what her role in the argument was
Yes. That's true.
to bring it to what it was brought to. Which again doesn't excuse anybody's behavior. I'm never taking, like, I don't give a shit if
Hell no.
if you brought some shit up right now to me that you knew was gonna piss me. I'm not taking my ring off because you pissed me off. Like, I'm just not gonna do it. Now, if you take me to a point where I just don't, like, I can't rock with you on that level after you said and did some shit that, you know what I mean? Then it's like, I'm gonna take my ring off and now I'm questioning my marriage.
I know. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? If you did something that makes me question my marriage, then 100% I'm going to take my ring off. But I'm not taking my ring off just because you pissed me off.
I just remember one time I pissed you off and you changed my name in your phone.
Did I?
Yeah, you changed your name. You changed my name in your phone.
To what?
Siobhan Melvin.
You sure it wasn't as a joke?
No.
I don't recall.
You said Siobhan Melvin. I was like, damn, I pissed you off that bad that you changed my name.
You've pissed me off a few times, but it was pissing me off for like little stupid stuff. I still would never take my ring off unless it was something that made me question our marriage.
That's true.
That's it. Like, there's no word that will make me be like, oh, I'm gonna take my ring off. There's no like, you can't disrespect me to the point where I'm like, I'm gonna make him mad by asking him if, you know what I mean, like just that petty stuff. Like, I mean, that's just me. I would never be that petty.
That's lights out.
I would never be.
There you go.
I would never be that petty. It's just like extreme. Why is he so tall?
I know, because that before he couldn't touch that.
I don't understand.
We got a little gaffer in this house right now. So.
Yo, he is trying his hardest.
So.
This topic definitely got a little deep.
Yeah, because you was coming at me as if
it's not that I
thought
was coming at you, bro, but you can't defend that shit. Like, I don't care if you are trying to play devil's advocate. There's no excuse for that type of behavior in a marriage. Like, none.
I get it, but
because 9 times out of 10, bro, you asked me to marry you, not the other way around.
That is very true, because.
And I'm not saying that meant, like, had you not asked me, that means that I wouldn't have wanted to marry you.
No, but that is.
It still means a lot that you.
That is a very good topic to talk about, because a lot of men do act as if the woman asked them.
It's almost like, I feel like when you really look at this whole situation, it's kind of as if he was saying, like, you should be lucky to be with me.
Fuck, yes. I mean, damn, yes. That's crazy.
Like, you should be thankful that I'm your husband. You should be super appreciative. But it's like, bro.
Some people actually feel that way.
And it's okay if you feel that way, but always remember this. There's always another man that's going to be willing to do what you want.
Yeah, that's true.
Always. Just because you feel like, oh, I go to work and I pay all the bills, and she should have my clothes ready for when I get out the shower. She should have my food on a glass plate instead of a paper plate.
No paper plate.
She should be ready to rub my feet. First of all, okay?
Make sure you know what? Make sure my bath water is ran tonight.
All I'm saying is that 1950s mentality gotta go.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Because that ain't even how the world function no more. Nah. So you thinking like I could talk to her and I could do whatever, and she needs to come to me and tell me what? Nah, bro. That ain't even cool.
Hey, you know,
and if you have kids and you teaching your kids that way, you out of line.
Yeah, and it's crazy because about the paper plate thing, because we just joked about it. I don't want to be doing no extra dishes. Put that shit on a paper plate so we could just throw it away. And that's
that's a whole nother situation.
Yeah, that is I'm
not even gonna get into that because that'll be a whole nother hour conversation.
Yeah, we ain't got that much longer.
So ultimately, like I said, we don't know what she did or what the things that she was saying within this argument. That again, that doesn't excuse the things that he did or he said.
Not at all.
But there's 3 sides to a story. His side, her side, and the truth. And so we only know what that one side of the story had to say. Again, doesn't make what he said right. But we still don't know the whole thing. We can't
dive in the way we want to.
Fully put it all on him, but it is all on him because... I mean, regardless of what the argument was and the things that she said.
You never call a woman out their name.
Not even that. No, nobody should be calling anybody out of their name.
You do?
It's not just about a woman or a man. It's not just about a woman or a man calling a woman. It's the fact that if you don't have that respect within that relationship.
You never will.
Not even that. Why is there a relationship? That's a situationship. That ain't a relationship, bro.
Bars? Bars?
That's not a relationship, and it'll never.
What you say again? Say that again. That was dope.
It's a situationship. It's not a relationship.
A situationship. They gonna have that on Facebook. Relationship, marriage, situations.
It's just not gonna last.
No, it's not.
You know, and if you were gonna treat that woman, or if you were ever going to treat that man that way, you knew from jump what it was, and you shouldn't even ask that person to marry you. And you should have never said yes to him or her, or whatever the case was, when they asked you to marry them.
That's true.
So, I mean, with that being said, y'all just listen to
Talk that shit
with the Melvins.
We out here.